Welcome back to the Done Deal show. Hit the like button. Please make sure you are subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. The January transfer window is a few days away from opening. But aside from that, there's a number of players whose contracts are running down. The pre-agreements with new clubs can start to happen from the 1st of January as well. We're going to go through some of the biggest stories and rumours. Obviously going to share the sources and the news on the screen in front of us. We will also be posting a lot of this news in our transfer group chat. You can scan that QR code on the screen to join it right now. Loads to talk about today. I'm going to start with Liverpool because I want to talk about this report that's come out. It was trending last night after the Arsenal game. A lot of Liverpool fans got very angry in the comment section, and I get why. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a legend at their football club. Reports from Spain state that Trent Alexander-Arnold has informed Liverpool that he intends to play for Real Madrid, that he will reject any new offers that come into him from Liverpool, and that his mind is made up. And before anybody goes mad, Marca are not the most credible outlet in Spain. I understand this. I am not claiming this is the gospel truth. My title of the video, I know it triggers some of you. Right, I don't know why you're watching if you're triggered. The claim is that he has decided to leave Liverpool. That is the statement that has been made, but I want your opinions on this. You may not believe Marca, but he may end up leaving as well. Those two things can exist at the same time. For me, I think Mo Salah's going to sign a new deal. I think Van Dijk might sign a new deal. But Trent is the one of the three whose contracts run out at the end of this season, who I believe will leave. And I know that will cut deep for a lot of Liverpool fans because he's born and bred. He's from Liverpool, especially the Scousers, the Scouts that are born in Liverpool. He is one of you. He grew up in your schools, on your streets. He is everything that your city embodies, and I understand the pain. However, you have to listen. Liverpool are a club I praise for how they're run. Allowing this contract to run down and him to leave for free is probably the biggest issue, because you could have got 70, 80 to 100 million, 70, 80, 90, 100 million for him a few years back. But I do want your views and your opinions on this in the comments section below. Trent Alexander-Arnold, according to reports in Spain, has decided to join Real Madrid. Now, another deal that reportedly is being spoken about as being done is a number of reports coming out of France yesterday claim that Man United have already have an agreement with Nuno Mendes on personal terms. Now, Nuno Mendes, of course, is the Paris Saint-Germain left back, a player that has played at Sporting Lisbon in the past, very familiar with the brand of football that United are trying to develop and instill the football club. We don't have a good enough or a fit enough left back stroke left wing back at the football club. The low is playing there, can't really use his left foot particularly well. It's a real big weakness in our team. We've been linked to Kirkes. There are links and there are actually reports today that we're also going to talk about on here. We might as well, that Alphonso Davies is open to joining the Premier League. Man United and Liverpool are amongst the clubs that are interested in him. I don't see Man United getting Alphonso Davies. I'd love us to. I think he's a phenomenal talent. I just don't see us being in the position, maybe financially, but in terms of contemporary, modern, today status, not our club's history. I just feel that a team like Liverpool are much better placed ahead of us to get him. Kirkes is a player that I really like. I really do like him. I don't know enough about Mendes. I don't know enough about Nuno Mendes personally. I've watched him play for both club and country on a handful of occasions, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be hugely knowledgeable about him. I've watched Kirkes play a lot more, so my personal preference is Kirkes. But I wanted to throw this out to the Football Terrace community. If these reports from France are true and personal terms have been... And by the way, this is the second player in a matter of days that United have supposedly agreed personal terms with. Victor Osimhen is another one. Well, they said personal terms will not be a problem. Now there is Mendes. If these stories are true, are they the type of signings we need? Would you prefer alternatives? Are there other players out there that you think would be better value for money for Manchester United at this particular juncture? Leave us your comments below. When it comes to Alphonso Davies, where do you see him ending up? I mean, look, I know he plays on the left and not the right, but if Liverpool were to lose Trent, Robertson is past it, they go and sign an Alphonso Davies, a very different player to Trent, but in terms of one superstar out, another superstar in, that would be a phenomenal piece of business for them. And there's something about the way Liverpool play that I just think, and their status, who they are, the fact that they're probably going to be champions of England by the summer. I feel like Davies will be a really good fit for them. I hope it doesn't happen, but I think Liverpool are going to end up with a very good left back, irrespective of what goes on. Now, moving on to Arsenal and the news surrounding them. Yesterday, there was talk about them looking at Cunha. Those reports have intensified today. Claims here from The Athletic that Arsenal are monitoring the progress at Wolves. The forward could become available if Wolves are relegated to the Championship. And this may feel like a bit of a blow today to Arsenal fans because The Athletic and many other outlets are reporting that the links are true. He's a player that Arsenal admire. And I know a lot of people hate the buzzwords, but the buzzwords are just used to simplify the situation. He's a player that Arsenal are scouting, a player that they want. But Wolves are briefing the press heavily that they will not be letting him go for love nor money in January. They see him as absolutely crucial to staying in the Premier League. Therefore, the only way you're going to get him is to pay above the valuation. That is essentially, when it's club admires a player, they're tracking him, they're monitoring him, but the potential vendor, potential seller says there's no chance in hell that this is going to happen. That is all code for Arsenal really want him, but Wolves are going to want an extortionate amount of money, well above market value for him. Arsenal then need to weigh up, does paying above market value help them achieve the ultimate goal of winning additional trophies or some trophies this year? So say they're paying an extra 25 million for him, but they win the league, it's worth it. They pay an extra 30 million for him, but he helps them win the Champions League, you would say he's worth it. Nobody cares about what you spend when you win the trophies. They spend an extra, say they can get him for 40 in the summer, but they spend 65 million in January and win nothing, then you could argue it's a waste of 25 million pounds. So Arsenal fans, how do you see it with the link to this player? Now, staying with Arsenal and delving into Manchester City here, Give Me Sport reports that West Ham have set an asking price of £100 million for Mohammed Kudus to try and starve off January interest from Manchester City and Arsenal. We know that Man City need those reinforcements. We know they're looking to bolster their squad and they're looking to spend big and spend quick and spend heavy in January. So far, a lot of the links to players like Zubimendi have been played down a lot by the Manchester City press. It's because it can be at times hard to buy players at the right value. And you've also got to weigh up, what are they going to do for you? What are they going to do for you in the short term? I don't think it matters who City sign. I think they're at the title race. They could still win a Champions League, though, if they get a Kudus, if they get a Zubimendi. They knit into the team quickly and they become a force straight away. However, they sign those players. Maybe it takes them 6 months to bed into the team. They get eliminated in the group stages or the playoffs of the Champions League. And then actually investing that money, and by the way, probably paying above the odds, you might waste 30, 40 million pound additional money, which could buy you another player in the summer. And these things have to be considered and weighed up, as I've just mentioned. From an Arsenal perspective, look, Saka, I think Saka's going to miss 3 months of football. I think he's going to miss between 3 months to 4 months of not being fully fit. You may not get a fully fit, ready and raring to go Saka until mid to late March, potentially even going into April. Mohammed Kudus, I know he isn't a winger per se, but he can play there. And I think Mohammed Kudus would be an amazing piece of business for Arsenal. In fact, he's so good, in my personal opinion, that you may not even miss, if, of course, and there is an if here, and I'm only throwing this if in because trolls exist. If he embeds quickly, you may not even miss Saka. That's how good Kudus is. You then have yourself a situation when Saka's back, you got both of them. They can both play right, they can both play left. Kudus can play central, can play as a striker. For me, look, 100 million, that's steep. But my personal belief about Mohammed Kudus is that he would deliver a return on that investment. And essentially in life, whether it's buying football players, in buying a business, everybody's looking for a return on that investment. What do we get back for the money that we have put in? Kudus will score, he will create, he will be dangerous, and he could be a difference maker for Arsenal. Equally, as I mentioned, City are also looking at him. City want him. City are scouting him. Could be a massive player for them as well. You look at Doku, you look at Savio, you look at Grealish. Skills, technique, amazing on the eye test. The lack of output is palpable. Kudus got very good output. That's a much lesser team. The only question you would throw at Kudus, and I'm trying to be fair and balanced here, is how would he fare against low blocks? Anyone who's watched him more than I, maybe when he was at, other clubs internationally where this happens, please let us know in the comment section below how you think he would fare in those scenarios. As ever, thank you for tuning into the Done Deal Show. If the title of the show, as in the show being called the Done Deal Show, triggered you because there's no official done deals being done whilst we're on the show, I don't care. It's just the name of a show. Take care, goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you all again soon. Peace!